A great white shark. You see, I'm pretty torn about it. I want to be one of them, but also I'd probably be on my surface interval. Since our ranking video went so well in terms of my favorite scuba diving courses, now it is time to rank sharks. My name is Kat, Diver Kat. I run the Ocean Pancake podcast where I talk to marine experts from all over the world about all things conservation, sustainability, and our oceans. And today, as a scuba diving instructor for 11 years, someone who's been diving since they were 12 years old, we're gonna be ranking some sharks. So let's get into it. Top tier, we got Let Me Be One of You. I think that's self-explanatory. You guys know that I wear a head-to-toe whale shark outfit, so it is really just the creme de la creme of sharks. 2, happy to have my shark fins. So again, don't know if you guys know, but my clear white fins that I wear, those attract sharks. Theories that any white piece of scuba diving equipment is more likely to attract a shark because sharks kind of see in depth and shadows, so that contrast of dark and light, and the light kind of looks like fish or their prey potentially. Anyway, every time I wear these clear fins, I do find that there's a lot more sharks hanging around me. So happy to have my shark fins. 3 is I want to tickle them. That's just the cute sharks that I just love seeing. They're the sweetest. 4 is I've pushed my dive buddy in front. I might have done this twice in my life where there's been a shark that's approached and I didn't even realize, but I ended up hiding behind my dive buddy. Do not worry, I was not doing this with any of my students. Just like the sharks that make me feel a little bit uncomfortable in the water. And then the last one is I'll be on my surface interval, whether I don't really care about them or I'm too scared to be in the water. So let's get started. We got basking shark. These guys are endangered and I've never seen one. Honestly, I kind of want to tickle it. It's pretty cute. All right, next shark. We got the black tip reef shark. I don't know. Black tip reef sharks. So they're the sharks I do see quite often, but I'm not a fan of having them chase my fins. So I do think I've pushed my dive buddy in the way. My partner, because he's a spear fisherman, and if he ever has a dead fish, yeah, I'm not going between him and the shark. Next is the mako shark. Yes, here we go. So blue sharks, they're known as the great blue shark. They're not near threatened, so they're doing pretty good, and they live in temperate and tropical waters. So basically all around the world. I want to be one of them. I want to see them. I've never had a chance to see them. That's a bull shark. Yeah, I've definitely pushed my dive buddy in front. That is probably the one species of shark that I do get a little bit stressed about seeing underwater. Most recently, we were on a dive trip in the Coral Sea. We were about 30 meters doing a deep dive, doing some skills in the deep dive, and suddenly there's a shape coming out of the murk. Seeing sharks is always a little bit, I don't want to say stressful, but they are apex predators of the ocean. They're these incredible representations of evolution. And just seeing one when you're the only diver with your dive buddy in like 300 kilometers squared, it's pretty stressful. So yeah, I've definitely pushed my dive buddy in front. The goblin shark. So I don't actually know anything about the goblin shark. Do you guys? I found him when I was just looking up sharks to add to this particular list. They're pretty small, they're the length of a human being, least concern, and they are in very few areas around the world. They're a deep sea shark. You know, honestly, I kind of want to tickle it. It's a funny looking shark. I'd be fascinated to see one of them, but I don't think we necessarily get to dive with them because they are deep sea sharks. Giant hammerhead, let me be one of you. I got to see one, well, I've seen a few now in my life, but one was in very shallow water when we were trying to swim to the beach for a camp, and it was between our boat and the beach. And I think a lot of people would have been feeding sharks in this particular area, and that's why as soon as he heard the boat pull up to the beach for us to camp, he thought we might have some fish scraps for him, so he came to check us out. Okay. A great white shark. You see, I'm pretty torn about it. I want to be one of them, but also I'd probably be on my surface interval. Now, if I'm diving in a cage, yes, I really want to see a great white shark. If I just run into one in the wild, that would scare me. I am not going in places where we see them regularly. So up here in Queensland, it's quite rare to see a great white shark because they prefer cold water. And in areas where I have dived, which has had cold water, the visibility hasn't been that great. And I've been looking around, and honestly, if I had seen a great white shark, I would have gotten out just for safety. I've tried swimming with the shark shields and things like that. They're huge, they're enormous, and the power they have and the fact that they're ambush predators. I mean, if I see it, it's probably not going to be eating me. But yeah, your thoughts? Diving with great whites? Should I do it without a cage? Just go pat them? Oh, quick interlude, guys. We do have new coral trout shirts. 10% of proceeds goes to Reef Restoration Foundation. So you can wear a shirt, represent our oceans, and donate to the... Next, we got a Greenland shark. I'll put them that will be, I'll be on my surface interval, mostly because they live in very deep and very cold water. So I don't think I'd necessarily want to be diving with them, but they are incredible sharks. If you guys don't know, they're the oldest living thing. I think they can live up to 500 years or something incredible. So these guys have been around for all the world wars and beyond. Next, gray nurse shark. I'm very happy to have my shark fin. So gray nurse sharks, they were probably the first species of shark I got to dive with regularly because they have one of the biggest congregations in Southeast Queensland, and every winter you get to dive through Shark Alley, which is just filled with gray nurse sharks. They're extremely docile. You can dive with them off Byron Bay as well, Southwest Rocks. They're very scary looking with all their big teeth, but I love them. They're super chill. I'd happy to have my shark fins. Next is the guitar shark. Very happy to have my shark fins. Very happy if they would follow me around. They're very cute. They're absolutely gorgeous. And kind of in that same, category, I'll put the shovel nose ray. Sharks and rays are extremely closely related, and these two fish I used to get confused by between shovel-nosed rays and guitar sharks, but they're quite similar, honestly. It's just the shape of the face. But yeah, they're both amazing. I love them. They're really docile, and you can see that their mouth is on the bottom, so they are bottom feeders. So let's continue. Next one, I believe this is a big lemon shark. So they do freak me out a little bit, lemon sharks. I've dived in quite a few places where they're one of the only species that rocks up repeatedly, and they're quite big. In Florida, I was diving and that's where they were feeding them. They are impressive looking sea creatures. They're gorgeous though, but I would potentially hide a little bit. I'm being real here, Okay, next is this zebra shark. I want to tickle it. It is called a leopard shark in the US, but here in Australia, I think it's called a zebra shark. So it's a little bit different from our leopard shark, but they are gorgeous. Look at that marking. But I do not know too much about them. I've never seen them. In terms of leopard sharks, or maybe what you guys call zebra sharks, let me be one of you. They are probably one of my top 4 favorite sharks in the universe. They are so stunning. I've seen an albino one when I was diving in Western Australia, but in general, they're very docile. Again, they have their mouth on the bottom, so they crunch on crustaceans primarily. So they're not dangerous to humans, and they're just picturesque and stunning. Next one, tiger shark. Let me be one of you. I'm yet to have like a really incredible face-to-face encounter with a tiger shark. I've had them swim past me a couple of times in Western Australia, but definitely not in this kind of clarity of water. That would be stunning. My friend, Emily Ledwood, she's an extremely talented photographer, has had heaps of interactions with them, and it's my dream one day. We can't go through everything else. I don't know what this guy is, but again, he looks like a cold water shark. What is he? Basking shark? No. Wide mouth shark. yeah, again, cold water shark. I'll be chilling. I'll be on my surface interval. Next, we have the nurse shark. So they're pretty cute, but honestly, I have pushed my partner in front of me. Okay, so I don't think they have fantastic vision. I will look it up, but just from all the interactions I've had with these guys, they just seem to kind of swim almost right into you. I've had them in night dives almost fully run into me and then hit me and then get freaked out and swim away. And in this particular one, he was huge, like 2.5, 3 meters, I don't know, much bigger than me. And I didn't have a gun on me. I had my GoPro on me, so I was just taking some footage. I think I had died by that point, so I don't have footage of this. And this shark was just, we were in a very narrow alleyway, and it was just swimming straight towards me, and it just was not slowing down. And I got pretty freaked out, so I turned around, swam the other way, and dove down as my partner came up. So I physically hid behind my partner, and the shark ran into my partner, turned around, freaked out, and swam away. So, you know, as much as we say when you see a shark, remain as calm as possible, in that situation, I decided that I'd rather go hide behind my partner than have this massive shark just physically run into me. I understand they're not out to hurt us, but they're big sea creatures, okay? And I think it's better safe than sorry. Speaking of safe than sorry, oceanic white tips. I'll probably be on my surface interval. I would love to see them, do not get me wrong. However, I have read they're one of the most potential dangerous sharks to humans because they go such a long time between having their meals. So if you run into them and you're the only one there, you might end up being a meal. Again, no hate towards them. They're absolutely stunning. Obviously, people have been in the water plenty of times with them, but they're just extremely impressive. And, you know, I would not be surprised. And there have been, I don't want you guys to hate sharks, but yeah, that is just we got our Port Jackson shark. I want to tickle it. They're so cute. I got to dive with them in South Australia. They're really unique looking sharks. They're stunning, and yeah, I would just tickle them all day. The sandbar shark. Again, these guys, I have seen them. They're pretty big, like 3-4 meters, and quite a few of them together. I found that they like to hang out together. We'd see them in groups of like 3 or 4. In like 10-meter visibility, they'd always be swimming around the bottom. And again, I think they were one of the sharks that got used to the sound of boats and associated that with fish. So they would quite often rock up when you arrive to a new dive spot in Western Australia. So they were one of the ones that kind of made me a little bit nervous. I don't know, they're kind of bull sharky type vibes. Hammerheads, coolest things. I mean, they use electromagnetic pulses to find their prey in the sand. I mean, if that's not the best connection of physics and the ocean, I don't know what is. Next, it's our mako shark. I mean, they're pretty cool. I don't know too much about them. I know they're like my friend's favorite fish. Thresher shark, you guys know, my favorite shark of all time. They're absolutely incredible. They hunt their prey by stopping mid-water and using their tail as a whip to like stun their prey, and then they snack on it. I got to dive with them in the Philippines. I think they're extremely endangered, critically endangered, but they're incredible. If you ever have a chance to see them, they got the biggest eyes. I love them. Whale shark. You guys know, I'm dressed up as a whale shark every time I go diving. There's something about their size that's just incredibly breathtaking. I've only ever seen them a couple times, but it's just one of those sharks I would love to see. I don't know why Great White snuck in here. He's the king of sharks. Okay, so we have him. I'd be on the surface interval, but also let me be one of you. You know what? That works out fine. Lastly, but we have a white tip. Reef shark. They deserve a good tickle. They are very common here in Australia. They're one of the most common sharks we see. They swim around the reef, the coral reef, happy little ones. I think David Attenborough has an incredible collection of videos of these guys in their hundreds feeding on the Great Barrier Reef. And then lastly is the wobbegong, which again, look at those little tentacled Like, I just want to tickle it. It's so cute. This is my final ranking of my favorite sharks to scuba dive with, okay? I'm not saying by any means that I don't like these sharks, but just in terms of getting into the water, as I have left the link to this tier making in the description. Please let me know what you think. What is your ultimate tier ranking list of sharks that you would like to scuba dive with?